Los Angeles, welcome to Tongue and Groove LA. I'm Conrad Romo, and Tongue and Groove is a combo platter of literary genres. You can expect to be served a helping of spoken word, poetry, short fiction, personal essays, and storytelling, the side of live music. Who are the writers? Over the past 11 years and some 200 readings, there have been best-selling authors, MacArthur Fellows, poet laureates, Best Actress Oscar winners, blind writers, bank robbers, sex workers, Zen priests, heretics, professors, dropouts, and the like. So if you're a fan of literary arts, then Tongue and Groove LA is what you crave. Here are a few nibbles to give you the general idea. Please share with others.
See, pickling is the proof we have lasted, that we have lived. We are not fresh. We are so much better than fresh. We are pickled. See, fresh is what you start with. Pickled is what you become. Fresh is what you will do. Pickled is, my God, what have you done? Fresh is a newborn. Pickled is not quite buried. First love is fresh. Pickled is 50 years married. All those Sundays with her grandma, my girlfriend thought that she was pickling, but she was wrong. She was getting pickled. See, this is what we do. Each day we surround ourselves with the way we hope our life will taste and press on in that direction. We crave spice. We bring sweet. We pack in flavor, pour on heat, and then we hold on, all of us, to each other like flat stones. Gently press. You have to start fresh, but for the love of God, you mustn't end there. Or what the fuck did we do? I mean, if nothing happens, then nothing happened. And isn't that the worst thing you've ever heard? And so twist the stone, pile on the hands, let life bathe you down in the flavor of these words, this moment, that beer, the fact that we of all of us happened here, the yes of that shoulder, the maybe of those lips, the pulse of possibility in the night, the magnificent scent of love and flesh and yes and wonderment, the pain like juniper, the joy like acid, the mustard seed of regret, the soft sugar of our lips, the vinegar running from our eyes. Let our tongues suck out the sacred. Let our broken hearts be made mosaic. Let our bodies lift us from our resting place and throw us colliding into glory. Let our scars spell out our stories. Let our wrinkles testify on our behalf. Let our laugh lines become like lessons to fresh faces that we must laugh. Let the universe wake up hungover from this night. Lean against the wall and piss into the morning light to celebrate. We have once again survived. Bathe in the wine you have been saving. Drive as if there is a flat stone pressing on the gas, because there is. And if every moment is a stone pressing down, then what better time than now to gather around with a glass raised in a toast to the flavor of this evening, the gathering together to all of us.
You come stumbling out of the tumbler, shining like a stone, and I'm sweating a little by now, but you're hard, moist, and gleaming. For remedy, I pull you down to me. Fastened on mine, your mouth is salt and quick. And when we come up for air, I growl, now we're getting somewhere. The sea is dumping armloads of ragged lace at our feet, and a sleek, dark head's approaching shore. At first, we think it's another surfer, but then see, it's another mammal, cautious and celebratory seal, eyeing the boys, and they point, and he goes down, enters the invisible. It's that close to us.
2 weeks after we talked, I got hired as a stringer to cover prep sports. The drunk who passed along my resume got canned just before I arrived, so I never had a chance to thank him for launching my career in journalism. Before my first assignment, a high school football game in Anaheim between two last-place teams, I was approached by one of the senior writers, Walt Brady, who had been covering local prep sports for over 2 decades. As I would learn, Walt fulfilled every stereotype of the sports desk hack. He was a 48-year-old bachelor with a greasy comb-over. He drove a 4-cylinder hatchback, and his desk was littered with coffee-stained legal pads and toothpicks from club sandwiches. "Do you know how to do agate?" he asked. "What's agate?" I said. Agate, I learned, simply meant the box scores. That night, Walt taught me how to score a high school football game. He pulled up an extra chair to his desk, and I sat down next to him. I became instantly familiar with his stench, a sour mixture of sweat and nicotine emanating from the plaid shirt that hung loose off his stooped frame.
Stephanie smiles as if I'm a handicapped girl she is welcoming to a potluck, then gestures to a chair with yet another cross, this one needle pointed into the upholstery, and asks me to explain why I wish to admit myself. I say that I am experiencing extreme anxiety about my eternal destiny, that I'm terrified I lost my salvation or was never saved in the first place. I tell her that I accepted Jesus into my heart when I was 5, but I was never sure if I'd done it right. And then 3 months ago, I went to see the Kurosawa film Dreams at the student union, and I freaked out, all my old fears about salvation flooding to the surface of my consciousness like rot from some scary, repressed, born-again sea. I tell Stephanie, it turns out Kurosawa intended the film's images to evoke fears of the afterlife, so mission accomplished with this gal.
Sometimes a storm will come before you know it's there. Next thing you'll be bound in chains, but you won't seem to care. That car you're driving will make that wrong left turn. You think that after all these years you'd learn. So you light that cigarette you've held off all day long. From picking up that bottle, it won't be round for long. While you're at it, why don't you call that guy that don't want you around? Remember the one that pounded your heart into the ground. It's a moment of weakness and sometimes you fall, but you don't have to stay down for long. Let your friends pick you up and help your wings to mend, so you can spread them out and lift yourself again. Pretty soon you'll be the one friends will be turning to, and you'll help them like they helped you. It's a moment of weakness, darling, the moment that weakness will get through. Saw you in the parking lot, your face is red and white, from beating yourself and crying over what you did that night.